You know something interesting? When we talk about modern India, we often say it is the world's largest democracy. We talk about elections, we talk about states, we talk about federalism. But rarely do we ask one simple question: how centralized is power in India today? And as this happened before, let me take you back more than 2000 years to the time of the Mauryan Empire. This empire was founded by Chandragupta Maurya and guided by his advisor Chanakya. Now think about this. The Mauryan Empire controlled almost the entire Indian subcontinent. No trains, no internet, no telephones. Yet they managed taxation, law enforcement, trade, agriculture, and intelligence. How? Through central control. The king sat at the top. Below him were ministers. Below them were provincial governors. Below them were district level officers. And something very interesting, they had spy networks. Yes, the Arthashastra talks about spies reporting to the king. Information flowed upward, orders flowed downward. Now pause for a moment. Does that sound familiar? Today, modern India also has a very strong central structure. We have central ministers, national schemes, digital monitoring systems, a centralized tax system like GST, large-scale welfare programs managed from Delhi. Even digital ID systems connect citizens directly to the center. Now, I am not saying modern India is the same as the Mauryan Empire, but the structure of power has similarities. In both systems, the center collects revenue, the center sets policy, the center monitors implementation, the center controls security. Now, here is the key difference. The Mauryan Empire was a monarchy. Modern India is a democracy. Citizens vote, governments change. That is a massive difference. But here is something subtle: administrative continuity. The Mauryan Empire relied heavily on officers and administrators. Modern India relies on IAS officers and bureaucrats. Governments change every 5 years. Administrators remain for decades. So the structure remains stable even when politics changes. Now let us think deeper. Why does centralization happen? Usually for 3 reasons. 1. Security threats. 2. Economic integration. 3. Efficiency. In ancient times, external invasions were constant risks. A strong center meant faster response. Today, India faces border tensions, economic competition, and internal diversity. Again, central coordination becomes important. But here is the question: when does centralization become too much? History shows that large empires often struggle with over-centralization. After the reign of Ashoka, the Mauryan Empire weakened. Some historians argue that excessive administrative burden made it fragile. When everything depends on the center, local flexibility reduces. Now look at modern India. States demand more physical autonomy. There are debates about revenue sharing, about federal balance. This tension between center and state is not new. It existed even in ancient systems. The real question is not whether centralization is good or bad. The real question is balance. Too weak a center, fragmentation. Too strong a center, rigidity. And history shows that both extremes create problems. So what does this comparison tell us? Not that India is repeating the Mauryas, but that large and diverse territories often rely on strong administrative centers. It is a structural pattern. Geography does not change. Population scale does not shrink. Complex societies need coordination, and coordination often concentrates power. But democracy adds something new: accountability, public debate, media scrutiny, elections. That is the difference. So maybe the real comparison is not about copying the past. It is about understanding scale. India was large 2000 years ago. It is large today, and the large civilization often face similar administrative questions. How much power should the center hold? How much freedom should regions have? The debate is not new. It is very old, and it continues. History does not tell us what will happen, but it shows us what has happened before. And sometimes that perspective is enough.